going to get started on our mat. And as most of you know who have taken my classes, we're going to start on our backs. Go ahead and have your strap within reach. And we're going to stretch out. And we want to stretch our bodies out as far as you can get your toes away from your fingertips. And of course, let's go find our breath of de-stress. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And we'll go ahead and carry our arms down by our side. And you're going to close your eyes, laying on your mat. And I'm just going to do a little head to toe check for you all. So go ahead with your eyes closed. Make sure there's plenty of relaxed space between your eyebrows. And make sure that you feel like you are taking a full inhale through your nose. And then you're exhaling out of your mouth, not forced, just letting it all fall out. The jaw is nice and loose. There's plenty of space between your teeth. Shoulders melt down and away from your ears. And sometimes as we walk our shoulders away from our ears, that lets us easier. It allows our shoulders to release and then our wrists release. And then your palms will be facing up towards the ceiling. Fingertips just curling naturally. Belly expands wide with every inhale. And like you're trying to fog up a mirror with your exhale. Knees gently fall open. And your ankles gently fall open. So as we're systematically relaxing our bodies from head to toe, I want you to kind of take a little bit of a body scan. Think to yourself, what has been ailing you lately? If you're feeling any discomfort right now, I want you to think about that. As you inhale, I want you to pretend like you're sending your oxygen straight to that part of your body. So inhale and fill your lungs. And then as you exhale, find something you're thankful for. And I know it can sound cheesy, but really try to do this exercise. So as we inhale, we fill our lungs. And just think of one thing you're thankful for. You got on to your device and you're doing yoga. That might be a simple one. It's a beautiful day. That could be something else. We're going to take 2 more restful breaths at your own pace. Good. Let's start to draw our knees one at a time in towards your chest and just hug them out. Some people like to do a little roll side to side, or if you want to take your knees and draw circles. And let's reverse the circle direction. Good. All right, so with our strap nearby, we're going to go ahead and lasso our feet into butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet are touching, the heels and the arches. And the beauty, if you do have a strap, and if you don't have a prop, you can still do this, certainly. Just hold on at your ankles or your shins. But if you have a strap, you can lower it down low enough so your elbows can just rest there on the mat. takes the tension off your neck and your shoulders. Good. And again, I want you to do a little bit of a body scan. Think about what you're feeling right now, what sensations you have. A large part of yoga is just body awareness. It's not about who can touch their toes. It's about being aware more of your body. So what do we feel here? Maybe tight hips. Maybe your knees are talking to you right now. Maybe your low back. Wherever that is, just pay attention to it. And like we practiced this morning earlier, just try to send your breath, your inhale, right to that spot. It's more of a mind exercise, but it really does relax you. One more breath in and out. All right. We're going to take our strap kind of as a steering mechanism, and we're going to steer our butterfly. So one leg comes close to us, the other knee steers away. Now, this is one of those opportunities where if you feel unbalanced, you feel like one hip needs a little bit more, just kind of linger on that one side for a breath, maybe for 2 breaths. Get you a little bit of sway, and maybe you feel even and you don't feel like one hip's imbalanced. You can just stay still and static and quiet. All right, we are going to raise our heels up to heaven and find our waterfall pose. So feet are still in the strap. Good. Now, what's really important first thing in the morning is we need to make sure that we're at our edge. And your edge is that point in your flexibility. It changes from day to day, where your knees can comfortably be straight and your feet can comfortably be flexed, but we're not too far. So if I've gone too far and I come to the point where I feel the need to bend my knees, I've gone past my edge. So find that point, and you can back off as much as you need to get to that straight knee, flex foot. Good. And find your edge. And like I said, it's different from morning to morning, from day to day. And we're going to breathe here right at our edge for 2 more breaths. Good. We're going to release your right leg out of the strap. Let that right leg go nice and strong and long out on your mat. And we're just focused on our left. So we're finding our edge with our left leg. With a knee straight and a flex foot, 1 more breath. Good. We're going to take both ends of our strap into your left hand, and I want you to slide your left hand as high up the strap as you can. So travel as high up as you can. Good. And then we're going to open our leg to the left. And this is a do as I say, not as I do, because I have a wall right here. But you're going to travel as far open to the left if you have space. Good. And just breathe. One more big inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to travel our heel back to the center. This time taking our right hand to grasp both ends of the strap, and we're going to carry our leg crossing over our body. Now, as you cross over your body, you're going to let your left arm extend behind you and look over towards your left arm. So it's a gentle spinal twist. Breathe it out. One more, in and out. And we're raising our heel back up to the center. Good. We're going to let our right leg join our left for a moment in the strap, and then go ahead and release your left, nice and long, onto the mat. Good. And find your same waterfall pose, your edge with your right. Now, don't be alarmed if you feel like you're imbalanced. One leg was dramatically different than the other. That's not all uncommon. Now you just know which side you need to give a little extra attention to. And we're going to take our right hand, slide it as far up the strap as we can. Good. And then we're going to open up to the right. And breathe. This is a great stretch to do first thing in the morning. You don't even have to be out of bed. Two more breaths. All right, raising your heel up. Taking left hand onto the strap, cross your leg over your body. And again, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm running into this wall. I want you to go as far as you feel comfortable, as much space as you have. And then extend your right arm out and look towards your right arm. Gentle spinal twist. So while we're breathing here, I want you to think about, again, that body scan that we talked about. Make sure you feel like you are feeling, what I talked about is if you feel a sensation that can be described as weird or new or different, then we're going to breathe through that experience, that feeling. But if we ever feel something that's painful, we know the difference, we're going to back off. All right, rising back up. We're going to let both of our legs come together in that waterfall pose one time. And now that we've done our lateral stretches to the right and the left, my guess is that your edge has perhaps gotten a little further. Maybe it's just imperceivable to the outside world, but you feel that you can get a little deeper into the pose. One more breath. Good. All right, we're going to let go of our strap, kind of jumble it up a little bit. We're going to place it somewhere behind us so it's out of the way and we won't get tangled up in it. There you go. And we're going to hug our knees in. Good. And we're going to plant our feet just behind our hips, setting up for our bridge pose. Put your hands, palms down on the mat. Your heels are about hip width apart, not too narrow, not too wide. And we're going to lift our tailbone first, tucking and lifting tailbone, next vertebrae, next vertebrae. I'm going to tuck my shirt so you can see you don't have to be that high up off the ground. It's not a crazy back bend. If you want to challenge yourself, you can ground your feet into the mat to lift a little bit higher. But wherever you are, breathe. One more breath. As you exhale, we'll start to descend one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone is the last to touch down. Good. All right, we're going to get a little bit of momentum and we're going to ball up, bringing our knees into our chest, lifting your head. We're going to get a little bit of a roll. We're going to roll up, but don't touch your feet. Good. We're going to do it 4 more times. So if you're just catching on, let's do it again. So roll with control. Find some lift. Good. When you come up, we're going to straighten our spine. And you have an option to hold your knees, or if you want to let go, keep your shins pointing down, or you can have your shins parallel to the ceiling above you. Okay, so we'll do it 3 more times. Whatever option you want. Roll, pull up. Good, 2 more. Straight spine, good. Roll back. Roll up. Good, we're gonna do our toe tap warm up. So again, feel free if you need to hold on to your legs to keep that straight spine and your chest puffed out. Otherwise, we're gonna try to stay here if that's the challenge you're working on, and we're gonna tap our toes. Doesn't matter which one, left or right, nice and slow. And breathe. You got a little bit of shake going on in your abs, that's okay. We're doing some core strengthening. And 3 more. All right, last one. Come on up. And let's find our butterfly pose. All right, so we did butterfly pose earlier when we were seated, excuse me, reclined. Concerned about our spine being straight because the ground took care of that for us. So now our goal is to really puff out our chest. Let our spine be nice and straight. Good. And as we're nice and upright and feeling tall, we're going to do a little neck stretch. So straight back, belly button tucks into towards your spine. We're going to let our chin lower towards our chest. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. We let the full weight of our head just hang. We're going to let our left ear roll towards our left shoulder. We're going to roll back chin to chest. And then over to the right ear, right shoulder. Back chin to chest. And then pendulum swing, nice and slow and controlled. Right, center, down, center, at your own pace. If you need to linger on one side, go ahead. Then we'll go back to the center, chin to chest. Then rise up. Good. Now we're going to look over our shoulder. Doesn't matter which. I want you to look over a shoulder so that your chin is hopefully close to your shoulder. And breathe. Straight spine, belly button tucked in, chest puffed out. And back to the center and over to the other shoulder. Good, come back to the center. Good. All right, we're gonna let our shoulders kind of rest. I know the middle of your back sometimes gets fatigued when we do that one. We're gonna close our legs like a book and come on forward. And have your strap ready at arm's length. Should be just behind you. Good. All right, so we certainly do not need the strap for a forward fold. You can do this with no prop like we did last Wednesday if you were in that class. I think most of you were in that class. But if you have a strap, you can certainly use it. So you can lasso your feet, sit up nice and tall. Good. Now before we go forward in any kind of hinging position, in any seated position, as most of you know, my rule, pull your flesh out. So make sure that your flesh is behind you and that you're actually on your sit bones instead of on that skin, on that flesh. All right, so we sit up nice and tall and then we start to hinge forward. Now, if the props are just kind of in your way, they're extraneous and they're just kind of not helping the situation, you don't have to have the prop. You can hold your shins, maybe your toes are your goal. If you're working towards goals, because I know a bunch of you don't have your cameras on, which is totally fine, but I don't know where you are. So I'm just going to assume we have all different levels. So maybe your toes are your goal. And my quickest, easiest trick is flex your feet. Just a little more flex. Some people think, oh, my toes are just so close, I can't do it. And they flex their feet, and lo and behold, they've been able to touch their toes the whole time. So if you're at your toes, maybe your next level to work towards would be the outsides of the arches of your feet. It also starts to give you a really nice shoulder stretch when you are able to bind onto your feet somewhere. If you have the outsides of your arches, maybe your next goal could be the outsides of your heels. And then we can get crazy. You know, you can say my next goal will be my elbows to touch the ground or my forehead to touch my shins, wherever you are. But again, yoga, not a competitive sport. just something you want to work towards if you have a goal. So we have 2 more breaths. Every exhale melts a little bit deeper. We're going to rise up. Rise up and rise up. Good. All right, so it's morning yoga, so we're going to get a little bit of energy into our side body. So we're going to take our left leg, keep it exactly where it is. Right knee bends and right knee folds in. Now, if you have an issue where you feel like your knee is too high, like your inner hip is preventing it from going down, that's fine. You're at home. Grab a pillow, grab a block, grab a blanket, grab something if you feel like you need to be supported here with your right knee. All right, we're gonna do a belly button check. Our belly button should be steered towards our big toes. With either your hands on your straps or maybe your hands to the sky, we're gonna inhale and feel a little bit taller. Steering our forehead down towards our knee, come on down. Body parts do not have to touch. That steering of your forehead towards your knee is just your alignment principle, where you're steering your skeleton. Three more breaths, settle in. You don't need to be a rush to go anywhere. If you do have some sort of a bind on your ankle, maybe you have a bind around your toes or your foot, really enjoy that bind because you can turn it into a shoulder stretch as well, kind of using that little bit. One more breath. We will slowly rise up. Good. Legs stay in the same position, but we're going to take our belly buttons, steer them about 25 degrees to the right. Your left hand is on your left shin. Good. And right hand to the sky. Inhale nice and tall. Left ear steering towards your left knee. Come on down. And your arm that's in your hand that's in the air, kind of like a ballerina hand, kind of just hanging out. Not tense, not twisting your wrist, nice and loose. If your right shoulder, your upper shoulder in this case, is rolling forward, I want you to roll it back. Look at whatever's above you under your arm. Feel that side body opening up, breathe. Good, one more breath, in and out. Use your inhale to rise up. So energizing to do those. I love these ones for morning yoga. All right, we're going to switch legs. So we're going to bring our right leg out. Our left is bent. We come back forward again, so our belly buttons are steering towards our big toe. Good. Certainly can have the strap if you'd like, or just arms in the sky is fine. Inhale tall. And exhale, hinge forward. And breathe. Again, we're steering our forehead to our knee, but that certainly does not have to be the end goal. Use your exhale. One more breath in and out. We'll rise up. Okay. All right, as we rise up, belly buttons go about 25 degrees to the left. Right hand, right shin, left to the sky. Inhale nice and tall. And we're going to come over to the right. And while we're in this pose, I'm going to take a look because I always want to make sure you guys have good body posture. Good. Yep, just like your ballerina fingers. Great. All right. 2 more breaths here, ladies. Looking good. We're going to rise up nice and slow. All right, we're going to crisscross our legs just to come to a seated position. Doesn't matter which leg's in front, left or right. And we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So I know this class started at 8, but if you were an early riser and you had a heavy breakfast this morning, I want you to still enjoy the twist, but maybe twist a little bit more shallow than when you hear me say deeper still, maybe don't go so deep. All right, we're going to take our left hand, cross our left hand to your right knee. And then take your right hand, it becomes your support hand behind you. Now maybe your hand is flat on the mat, or maybe your fist is on the mat to give yourself as much uprightness as you possibly can. All right, we're going to breathe in, fill your lungs. Exhale, start to twist to your right. Staying upright, inhale. And then exhale a little deeper. Inhale again. And this is a deeper still twist, as deep as you can. We're going to hold it with a long exhale. And then we come back. Good. We'll twist to the other side. So our right hand comes to our left knee, and our left hand becomes a little bit of a stabilizer, gets us a little bit taller. Inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. One more inhale. Twisting deeper still. Good, release and come back. Good. All right, we're gonna give our low body a little bit of a rest. We're gonna do a little upper body. So we're bringing our hands to heart center. And we're gonna come all the way up. Steeple fingers pointing up. And I know my steeple fingers get cut off in this angle, but steeple fingers pointing up. And then as if your elbows are a vice, I want you to squeeze your elbows straight. Good, keeping your elbows straight throughout this entire neck series. Inhale, get a little bit taller. Exhale, coming over to your right. Inhale, tall. Good, as you exhale to the other side now. Inhale, center. Open up to that wide V. And then we're going to do a little exercise. We squish our shoulders towards our ears. Doesn't feel very good because I want you to learn how to tuck your shoulders into your pockets. Just let them sink down. Good. And then we come down. Steeple fingers pointing down and really opening up your chest. So I call this anti-pose. It's anti-typing and anti-driving and anti all that forward stuff we do all day long. One more breath. Good, shake it out. All right, we're gonna crisscross our legs. Meet me in tabletop, all fours. And we're gonna do our cats and our cows. So I want you to make sure your wrists are healthy. All of your hand is pressed into the mat. Fingers are spread wide, like rays of the sun, and there's no air between the mat and your hand and your fingers. Good. We're gonna inhale, our head comes up and our belly hangs down. With straight elbows, we're gonna reverse that into a cat position. So our belly buttons tuck in, head comes down, and exhale. Continue with the pace of your own breath. So whenever you're ready to inhale, head up. And whenever you're ready to exhale, arch, head down. Maybe you breathe a little faster, a little slower than me. And that's okay. One more of each. Good, back to your tabletop. One more little side body opener because we want to energize during morning yoga this morning. We're going to extend our right leg out, and then I want you to lift it up and travel all the way to the left, as far left as you can. Look over your left shoulder. Look at your toes. Breathe. Good, we're coming back to tabletop. Left leg extends out, lifts up, and left travels all the way to the right. Look over your right shoulder and breathe. And come back to tabletop. Good. Tucking our toes under, we're getting ready for our down dog. And we're gonna lift our glutes up to the sky, and we're just gonna walk it out. So one leg is straight while the other knee is bent, and just pedal or walk your dog. Good. Keeping your elbows nice and straight, feeling strong. Looking good, ladies. And those wrist pointers we mentioned earlier, make sure your whole hand is pressed into the mat. And we are going to still and quiet our down dog now. Let our knees be nice and straight. Elbows are straight as well. And breathe. We're going to glance up at our hands. And I want you to either step or hop up to your hands for a forward fold. When you find your forward fold, you want to check in if you're hip width apart. And I know we do this often, but just to double check. Your hip width is your 2 fists in between your feet. That's your hip width. So make sure you're not too narrow, not too wide, and just let your head hang. You can even bend your elbows and grab opposite arms. Maybe create like a little nest for your head. Your legs are straight, but the rest of your body is just loose, kind of like a rag doll. Two more breaths. Good. We're going to glance up with a straight spine and inhale. Exhale back to your forward fold. Good. Bend your knees. Ribs and thighs should be touching. Very nice, good, deep bend. Airplane arms, come out. And we're going to reverse swan dive. So remember, that means your head peeks up first. You use the power in your glutes and your legs to rise you all the way up. And I know my head's going to get cut off. Sorry. Good. We're going to bring your arms by your side and shake it out. Good. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a balance pose. So if you are uncomfortable with balance poses, feel free to do this next to a chair or a wall. You bring something right next to you so that we can have that for balance. It's not a crazy balance, but if you do need something to hold on to, that's okay. All right, so we are going to find some stability in our left leg. So I'm going to turn around because then you can follow me. So this is my left leg. I'm going to plant my left foot down. And we're going to do our tree pose, but our first option for tree pose is this kickstand. So you never have to come off the ground if you don't feel comfortable. So kickstand's an option, or coming to your calf is an option. If you want to go higher than your calf, we don't want you to be on your knee joint, so you need to be higher than your knee joint, okay? And then we're going to find whatever arm posture is comfortable for us. Maybe arms up, maybe airplane arms. Maybe you prefer to have your hands at heart center, whatever you feel like you feel comfortable in. And then while you're in the pose, I'm going to give a couple options for help with balance. So first thing is making sure that you're breathing. Probably the most important one. Make sure you're breathing. Another pointer I always like to say with balance poses, I want you to find something that's not going to be moving and try to focus on that. Try to find your focal point. Also, your standing leg, your left leg in this case, let there be a tiny little micro bend so you're not stick straight with your leg. And then my last pointer is your core. You don't think of this as a core strengthening position, but it is. So make sure that your belly button is tucked towards your spine. So we're breathing, we're focusing. And if we fall out, we just go right back in, no problem. 2 more breaths. Last one, in and out. All right, we're gonna come out. We're gonna shake our legs out, guinea kinks out. Good. We're gonna work on our right leg. So on our right leg, plant your foot down. Nice and sturdy positioning. Maybe your kickstand, and that's perfectly okay. Calf or thigh, wherever you are, find your hand pose. And maybe if you tried something on the other side and you felt wobbly, maybe try something else. Good. Knee is not stick straight. We got a little bit of a bend. Good. And we're breathing. And I can't see hardly anybody's face because of the cameras and the standing up. So make sure you're smiling. Big smile. One more breath. We're going to fall out. Go ahead. All right. This next one, we're going to leave our legs to have a little bit of a break, and we're going to be working on our upper body. So I want you to stand about hip width apart, and we're going to bring our arms out. I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see my arms a little bit more. Okay. All right. So now this next one, I'm going to give you some coping mechanisms because you might need them. Don't be too scared. But one of the coping mechanisms is when it gets intense, you can kind of dance your legs, move them around, that gets your mind off of it, or you can close your eyes. And I can't see anybody's face because your head's either cut off or your camera's turned off, so you can do whatever you want with your face. You can contort your face however you want. All right, so what we're going to do is little airplane circles. So we're going forward, and we're not going very fast. We're going very slow, about the circumference of a golf ball. We're going forward, small, slow, and breathe. Good. Now we're going to switch from a golf ball to a tennis ball. So it's a little bit bigger, but it's not that much faster. Still nice, slow speed. Good. From a tennis ball, we'll go to a soccer ball. It's very easy to start going faster when you go bigger, so still try to go nice and slow. From a soccer ball, we'll go into a yoga ball. So big, but slow and controlled. And breathe. Use some of those coping mechanisms, strategies that'll help you to close your eyes if you need to. Dance your legs out a little bit. Breathe. All right, we are going to do one more rotation and freeze, and then do a yoga ball going backwards. So same shape, just other direction. Slow and controlled. Good, and breathe. And smile, because we're more than halfway. All right, for yoga ball, we're going to turn this into just a soccer ball. Good, soccer ball. Breathe. You're stronger than you think you are. You're almost done. Soccer ball is going to turn into a tennis ball. Good, finish strong. We're almost there. We're turning it into a golf ball. Little circles. 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Shake it out. I know, it's a lot. We're going to do our eagle pose because we want to stretch out what we worked out. So bring your arms out and cross your left arm over your right arm. Make it down so you can see me. And then connect your eagle pose. Good. So in eagle pose, I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. I want to make sure that I'm dropping my shoulder down, but I'm going to raise my elbows up about 1 inch. And breathe. 2 more. One more. Good, let it go. Shake it out. Do the other side. We're gonna have our right arm on top. Go ahead and find that eagle pose. Again, shoulders drop down, but elbows raise up. And breathe. And relax. Shake it out. All right, ladies. Great job. So we're going to be at the top of our mat. Not the tip top, but your feet have just a couple inches top. Good. And we're going to step back with our right leg. So step back. We're going to be in a runner's, not a runner's lunge. What was I saying? Step back to your right. Okay. We're going to come into our tightrope. So our heel and our arch are on the same line. You can be as wide or as narrow as you want. Good. And find your warrior two. So with your warrior two position, I'm going to go perpendicular so you can see. We want to make sure that our glutes aren't popping out, that we're not here, that we're tucked in. Good. And then you're glancing down your front fingers, in this case, your left fingers. Good, and breathe. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of our flow series here. So we're going from here to creating a little, we have that shelf on your knee, left elbow on that shelf, right arm, rainbows all the way over, side angle pose. Coming back to your warrior two. Your lower legs don't really move. Same position. Good. Cartwheel your hands down. And find your plank pose. Plank pose, top of a push-up. Good. Breathe here. We're going to lower down, chaturanga, all the way down. Forehead to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to press up. If this is too intense to have straight elbows with your hands here, come back down. Walk your hands further to the top edge of your mat and then find that pose. So we'll do it again. Forehead to the mat. Inhale. Plant your hands where you feel like they need to be. Exhale, press up. Shoulders away from your ears. We're going to take our child's pose. Sink down and breathe. One more breath in child's pose. Good. Hands are still right where you were before. They should be in the perfect position to come glutes up, tuck your toes, find your down dog. We're going to hop, skip, or jump our feet up to a forward fold. Big inhale, big exhale, forward fold. Half up, glance up, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Bending your knees, airplane arms, rise up. And I'm going to sit, but you're going to stand, pointer fingers up. Exhale over to one side, doesn't matter which. Good, inhale, tall to the center. And exhale to the other side. And inhale up. Wide V, let your shoulders sink into their pockets. Come down for anti-pose. Relax and release, shake it out. All right, we're still at the top of our mat, top 2/3 of our mat. We're going to step back this time with our right leg. Find your warrior two and find your tightrope. One more breath. Resting your elbow there on that shelf. Left arm rainbows all the way over toes. Breathe. Lower body's locked in position. We just rise back up to warrior two. And then we're gonna cartwheel all the way down. Plank. We're gonna add a little bit of fun to this plank. People are thinking, what did she just say, fun and plank? All right, we're gonna do plank jacks. So we jack our feet to the outer edges of the mat, inner, out, in, 3 more, out, in, out, in, last one, out, in. Good job, ladies. Lower down, chaturanga. Forehead to the mat, inhale. Exhale, press up. And I always talk about the hot lava earrings. Pretend you have long, dangly hot lava earrings. You want to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Glutes are loose. Good, come back down. Forehead to the mat again. Inhale. Exhale, press up again. Glutes are loose. Take your child's pose. Oh, good. So whenever we do an intense back bend, like that press up, we want to balance it out with a nice forward fold in this child's pose. Flexion and extension, we want to balance everything out. All right, our hands are super glued onto the mat as far as you can get them. We're going to come into our down dog again, tuck your toes under, and here we go. All right, we're going to get started with a little bit of a flow. We're not really doing any new poses. It's just what we've already done this morning. If you need to take a break at any time, just come back into your child's pose. Take a breath, rest, and meet us when you're ready. So we're going to swing our left leg up. Get a nice bit of height with your left leg. And we're going to swing our left leg through. Find your warrior two, your tightrope, and rise up. This is the one we started with. Good. Big inhale together. Exhale, rainbow your right arm over. Side angle stretch. Coming back to warrior two. Cartwheeling down. Finding your plank. Chaturanga lower. Forehead to the mat, inhale. Exhale, press up. Tuck toes under, meet me in down dog. Right leg flies. Right leg swings through. Find your warrior two. Or take an inhale together. Exhale down to your knee, rainbow your left arm over. Inhale brings us back to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel our arms down. Take the plank. Chaturanga lower. Forehead to the mat, inhale. Exhale, press up. Take a child's pose. Good. So you did one cycle of vinyasa, which just means flow. We're going to do 2 more of those cycles. And you can breathe at whatever pace you need to breathe at. Like I said, take a break if you need to take a break in child's pose, and meet us back when you're ready. So from child's pose, we'll take 1 more breath here. Good. Hands are super glued on the mat, right where we want them to be. We lift up our glutes a little, tuck our toes, and come to your down dog. Same thing, we're gonna do a little extra something when we get up, but we're not learning much new. Left leg flies. Left leg swings through. Find your tightrope, warrior two. Elbow down, right arm rainbows over. Come back to your warrior two. We're going to do a little exercise where we straighten our knees and we touch our hands. Inhale. Exhale. Back to your warrior two, bend your knee. 2 more. Up. Straight knee. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. Last one. Back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down. Come into your plank. Chaturanga, lower. Forehead to the mat, inhale. Exhale, press up. Tuck your toes under. Meet me in down dog. Good, and you know what happens next. Right leg flies. Right leg swings through. Find your warrior two. Good. Right arm down, elbow rest, left rainbows over. We're going to straighten our knees, bring our hands up, inhale. Exhale, back down, knee bend. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more, inhale up. And exhale down. Last one, up. And exhale down. Cartwheel your hands. Take your plank. Chaturanga, lower down. Forehead to the mat, inhale. And exhale, press up. Glutes are unclenched. Good, take your child's pose, ladies. We'll bring our heart rate back down. We'll be here for a few breaths. Good, breathe. Good breath. All right, we're gonna come back to tabletop. I want you to crisscross your legs or however you need to get back to your feet or get back to your seat. And we're gonna do mummy roll-ups. You were thinking, well, we're almost done. Maybe she'll forget them. I'm gonna go crooked on my mat so you can see me. All right, so mummy roll-ups, pretty sure you've all done before. So we're gonna start nice and upright like a mummy. And then we're gonna start to curve slowly, slowly, and just try to control your descent. Inhale when you elongate your body on the mat. Exhale, trying to use minimum momentum to come up. And then take your forward fold. Good. Breath is so key with this one. So exhale as you descend. Feel your lungs on the ground. And then exhale when you peel up. Good. And yes, it's normal if you're inching your way up higher on your mat. That's okay. This one is number 4. So we're halfway there. We're doing 8 this morning. So if you want to readjust yourself on your mat, you're welcome to. And finish strong. I know this is a challenging one, especially if you don't do it very often. This is a great commercial break exercise. Your family, your husband, your roommate, your dog, whoever you live with might think you're kind of funny when you just hop off the couch during a commercial break, but you'll start to feel different about your mummy roll-ups if you do them more often. Just 5 or 6 a day, you'll feel a lot different. Work your way up to 10 a day, or maybe even more. All right, I've pseudo lost count, but I think this is our last one. So we're gonna end in a seated position. So roll up for one last time and take your forward fold. When you take this forward fold, I want you to really do that body scan you did at the beginning of class. See if maybe your edge is a little bit further than you were before. If you were feeling tightness in your calves or your knees, your hamstrings, maybe even your low back, hopefully that's lessened. Maybe a little bit deeper in your pose now. And I want you to rise up and rise up. Good job, ladies. All right, so as you all know, if we were in person together at the gym or down at the park for yoga in the park, I would be bringing around my cool spritz to spritz you all. So I want you to pretend that there's cool spritz, but I want you to get into your positioning, whatever's comfortable for you for resting pose. So if you first need a twist, you need to ball up, do a little side twist, about 10 seconds, whatever your choice, whatever your body's telling you you need. And then we'll find ourselves in our resting pose. And we'll do that same head to toe scan that we did at the beginning of our practice today. Our eyes are closed, our eyebrows are loose, no scrunching between. Your teeth have plenty of space, your jaw is soft. Shoulders walk down and away from your ears, allowing your palms to rest up towards the sky or the ceiling. And your fingertips just naturally curl in. Belly expands wide with every inhale. And then you let it go with a big exhale. The breath of de-stress. Knees gently fall open, as do your ankles. We're going to breathe. That's all we have to do. For the next few moments, breathe at whatever pace is most relaxing to you. And we'll start to move our bodies again shortly. We'll start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Elongate your breath. When you're ready, I want you to roll over to your right side. Just curl up. Take a restful breath there before you go anywhere. Maybe 2 breaths. And slowly roll up to your seated position. So if you have the chat capability, I entered in a little message for you that normally you get as a printout underneath your mat. It's a reminder for you, you are stronger than you think you are more talented than you know, and you love beyond belief. So thank you, ladies, for attending this morning. Make sure to drink plenty of water